and welcome to Getting to Good Enough, a podcast to help you let go of perfectionism so you can do more of what you love. I'm Shannon Wilkinson, a life coach in Portland, Oregon. I'm a recovering perfectionist who's getting better at good enough.
And I'm Janine Adams, a certified professional organizer in St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm lucky enough to be naturally good at good enough.
And today we're talking about progress, not perfection. Doing all right. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm feeling proud of myself because I just said my little spiel without looking at it.
Wow.
Because it wasn't on my screen. And so I just did it. After only 140 episodes, I managed.
You know what's really funny is I almost read your part because I was looking at it.
Now that would have thrown me for a loop.
It would have been entertaining at least.
Yes.
Well, today we are talking about progress, or the importance of progress over perfection.
That's right. If we can embrace progress and worry less about perfection, I think we can get a lot more done, and I think at least I would be more happier. That's the word I was looking for.
Yes. Yeah, because I think it's so easy, you know, when you're bumping up against perfectionism, to feel like you have to figure something out, like whatever project you want to do, like you have to have the whole thing figured out before you can get started, which often means that you never get started.
Right. If you're waiting for that perfect plan, or that plan to do it just right, or the best way,
yes,
not just any way, it can be really hard to get started. Without a doubt. I have to give a talk in a week from Thursday, and I've been thinking about it a long time, and it's stuff I talk about all the time. But I'm thinking I'm going to create a PowerPoint. Yeah, I know. So that is, I'm experiencing this right now. It's the PowerPoint, which I don't have to do a PowerPoint, so maybe I just won't. But it's the creation of a really great PowerPoint that's slowing me down, I think.
Right. Yeah. And that's such a good example, because that's a perfect thing that could have iteration that brings it in line more with what you want, you know, what you ultimately want to share. And if you could just make some initial progress on it, then you could do that.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. I don't have anything to modify if I don't have anything.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yes. Exactly. So yeah, I did finally get started on it last week, and I started by taking it's actually I used Keynote, not PowerPoint, but a theme that I used for a different talk I'd given in a different topic, but that I liked. You know, I liked the way it looked, and started there. Except I didn't make a ton of progress. But I tell you what, just making any progress might help me, and it actually gave me the freedom to think about not even doing one. As I said, it's on Zoom, so I have to decide: do I want to be able to look at people's faces or not, or do I want them to just look at my face? I'm not sure. But maybe I want them looking at a screen instead, a screen share. So it's, but I think people get sick of looking at PowerPoints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of calls where I have them, so that's not my Zoom fatigue.
Yeah.
That's not my, what would it be? My, I was going to make a joke, but I couldn't come up with one.
Nice try. At least you're trying, Shannon.
Yeah. Well, at least telling you that I'm trying.
Right. Yeah. But I have to say I've had so much, some barrier to getting started on it. And it's that barrier that you helped me identify, which is that I didn't think it was going to be fun to create this PowerPoint, because
Right.
it really isn't.
Yeah.
But it feels easier now.
Yeah, I'm curious how it would be if you gave yourself permission to work on a PowerPoint and then ultimately decide not to use it.
Well, that's an interesting question. It kind of crossed my mind because I thought, you know what, Janine, just create this PowerPoint just to use as if I wanted to, I could have a PowerPoint that I didn't share.
Right.
That I just use for my talking points, because typically I just have bullet points. Like when I give talks in person, I'd rather stand on a stage and have no slides and just glance at my notes every now and then.
Right.
But because it feels like there's less to go wrong. But as I get older, my memory's not as good, so maybe that's no longer true. But yeah, that's an interesting idea. If I did that, then I could let go of how it looked and work on it in terms of it being the tool to help me put my thoughts together for the talk.
Yeah. Well, and I think part of the perfectionism that may be showing up is the trying to decide what's the best way to present.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think you might be right. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be the best. I know I have good content, and so I'm sure whatever I do will be great.
Of course it will.
Right.
It'll be useful and helpful, and you're always fun to listen to, and so you can't go wrong, really.
Oh, very nice, Shannon. Thank you. That was an excellent little pep talk. Yeah, so I think it's funny that it popped to my mind that is an example of progress over perfection, because it's absolutely true that if you get mired in perfectionism in any particular project, it can be so paralyzing that just thinking, okay, all I have to do is anything.
Yeah, right.
Just to get that ball rolling, or like Anne Lamott said in Bird by Bird, right? Where she talked about having a shitty first draft.
Right.
Yeah, just have a first draft.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking about. And I had this conversation with a client recently about how common it is to have whatever creative idea you have in your head, whether it's a piece of writing or a drawing or a, piece of needlework or a PowerPoint, whatever it is, like the idea you have in your head is like perfect, and it never comes out that way. Like trying to bring into the world the thing that you have in your head is, really pretty impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And
certainly
so,
not on the first try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's, you have to do that first draft. You have to make some progress so you have something that you can work with.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that makes perfect sense. I remember when I was in college and we typed our you're 5 years younger than me, so you may not have.
Oh, I typed.
You did. Okay, you didn't have a computer to do your
Not until my
papers
senior
on.
year.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We didn't either. There were 3 IBM PCs in the library for student use. So I was one of the students who chose to use one of them. But yeah. But I remember thinking, I was always procrastinating and typing my paper the night before it was due. So I was literally turning in my first draft every time. And then I got my first job and I learned to edit. And I thought, oh man, if only I had applied this skill.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, we're in a world now where we don't have to turn in our first drafts usually. Mm-hmm. And if we can just get that first draft of anything, like no matter what kind of creative piece it is, as you said, down and put it into tangible form so that we can work on it and we can make progress.
Right. Well, and also the first draft may be good enough.
Oh, good point. Apparently it was for me in college.
Yeah, me
I graduated.
Yeah, I got my diploma because I was like a lot like you. Mm-hmm. But, I think, so it's sort of like different kinds of progress. Like it may just be getting started kind of progress, like instead of trying to figure out the perfect thing before you even get started. Or it may be, coming up with a draft so that you can edit it or, iterate or innovate or whatever based on having something down in some way or having something done in some way. And, as I'm talking, I'm thinking too about like decluttering and organizing. And I know for me, I have to make multiple passes usually to really get something decluttered effectively. I get decision fatigue very quickly. And so if I felt like I had to get it perfect the first time, I would absolutely 100% never do it.
Right. And it's funny, I was thinking about decluttering and organizing as well, right at the same time you were, I think, and I went a little different direction in my mind, which is perfectionism can make it really hard to start, as we were discussing, but it can also make it really hard to stop.
Yes.
Because if you think you have to keep decluttering until, I don't know what, until you have absolutely no clutter at all, or until you're only keeping the bare minimum, then you may never get that satisfaction of enjoying the progress while you're in the process of getting where you want to be. I mean, I'm constantly decluttering, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. In very small bites. Very small bites. Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. And then I know that when we talked about rewards, early on, I think we had an episode about rewards, didn't we?
Yes.
And I know I'm very fond of suggesting that people reward progress, not reward the finished product, and that this seems to fit in here too, right? So if we can,
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, if we can reward ourselves for our effort, then we get lots of rewards along the way till we get to the end.
Right.
Yeah. Instead of
holding. Yeah, and contrary to most people's fear, I think most people's fear about rewarding themselves before something is finished is that they will stop working because they got the reward. But actually, it does the opposite. Those little rewards as you make progress encourage you to make more progress.
Right.
As opposed to using a stick to try to get to the carrot. But it's like, oh, here's a baby carrot. Here's a baby carrot. Here's a baby carrot.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. They should be rewards perhaps that are commensurate, right? There'd be small rewards on their way to the big reward, but also making progress is rewarding can be rewarding in and of itself. So you get that double whammy of the baby carrot and the looking around and seeing that you've gotten some stuff done. But I have found back when I used to try to reward completion, not progress, that I never would get around. So I'd like come up with a big reward, and then I'd never do it. It was like too big, right? And I was done. I didn't need the incentive anymore of the reward,
right?
And it wouldn't happen. And I'm not talking about like a trip around the world kind of thing. I'm just talking about taking a day off kind of thing.
Yeah. I know. I'm thinking like using the gift certificate I have for a spa day kind of thing. Like that would be like, so it's not even an outlay of money, but it would be, and then I wouldn't do it.
Right. Yeah. So if instead you gave yourself an afternoon to read a favorite novel a few times in the course of the project, which would also be rewarding and not money, but you'd probably get more out of it.
Right.
And make more progress. Well,
and for whatever reason, reading novels in the middle of the day always feels so decadent to me.
So decadent. Except for me, I read when I brush my teeth and when I eat a meal, breakfast or lunch. So I get to read novels
Yeah.
during the day.
But to like not work.
Right. To take time away from work time and sit in a
Yeah.
comfy chair with a cup of tea and a book.
Exactly.
You know, it sounds so decadent. Isn't that funny, especially now that we're, 11 months into the pandemic or 10 months and, 11 months.
11.
And, yeah. And we feel like we have so much time, yet that still feels decadent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we don't really have that much time. Because we're still working like dogs. We're just not leaving the house.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's interesting. Like there are so many ways that you can make progress. And there's so, like, it's just, like you said, it's just a reward in and of itself. Like it feels so good to make progress on something.
Yes, and it feels so icky to want to make progress and not be able to get started.
Yeah. Well, I had a happy little surprise. I decided, since I have a lot of tax-related stuff that I need to do this year, and so I decided I was just going to get started on my mom's and see how far I could go. And I ended up getting it all done. And it was completely painless.
Yeah, well, that is a lovely surprise. Did you tell yourself you were going to do it for X amount of time?
Yeah, it was like, well, I was going to do like, sort of the first part of the process. I'm just going to do this and see how it goes. And I was like, well, that didn't take any time. And then I was like, well, I'll just do this. And then it was like, then I was done.
That's excellent. Well, that's a great example of how we can build stuff up in our minds to be so much harder than it is, and then be afraid to get started or fearful that we're not going to do it right.
Right. Well, and also this has that, like, this fear of not getting it right. This is my mom's final income tax return, and it's so, like, I want to make sure I get everything done correctly. But then I gave myself the permission, like, you know what? If I miss a deduction, it's not that big a deal. Like, if I miss a receipt, it's not going to make or break anything.
Right.
So just giving myself that permission to do it imperfectly. I mean, obviously, it's going to be done legally. Right. And it will be done, as best I can in a reasonable amount of time. But I'm not committing fraud or anything, but to not feel the stress of having to get it exactly right,
Yes.
not having to get it perfect.
Right. That's great. Oh, that's terrific. I'm taking the progress over perfection approach to my taxes too, which is finally on the weekend I decided I would actually look at the taxes. And,
right.
And moved it. It's big. That's progress right there. And I have decided I'm just going to work on it for 30 minutes a day and put it away. And so I haven't done it yet today, but Saturday and Sunday I did. And it's like, I forgot it's not that big a deal because I now send it to an accountant and all I have to do is provide my P&L, profit and loss statement. I don't have to, in TurboTax, I had to parse it all. And so I'm letting it be easy as possible, and it's still fairly early. It's only, it's due in 2 months. So if I can get it done in a week, which at a half an hour a day I certainly can, then it wasn't so bad. Although I'm always worried about if I'm going to owe, because this year I'm worried because I didn't expect my net revenue to be as high as it was when I looked at my P&L, because I didn't spend much. I didn't earn much, but I didn't spend much. So we'll see what happens. But it is what it is, right? And being afraid of it doesn't help. So I might as well just do it. Yeah.
And there are rules in place that will probably help make it less painful if you didn't pay enough estimated taxes or something.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think taxes are a great example of just make some progress, get started. make some
Right.
progress and let it go, reward yourself along the way. And then your example of actually not just getting started, but unexpectedly finishing is amazing. That's wonderful.
Yeah, it was a big surprise to me. It was definitely under 2 hours. Like it didn't even feel like I was working on it for that long. Like I didn't pay attention to the time.
2 hours. Wow. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Well, not to talk about it in every episode, but gotta love YNAB.
That's right.
YNAB makes it so easy.
Yeah, it's true. I can't wait till next year when I can use YNAB for my personal taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we could find a way to bring up YNAB in every single episode.
Yeah, YNAB and daily yoga.
People are just pressing stop right now.
Yeah, they're like,
Enough
okay,
already.
done.
Done.
Well,
The two Y's, we don't need them anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, those are constants in our lives that are both of them so helpful to both of us, right?
Right. Yeah, huge difference. Anything else you want to say about progress?
No, I would just no. I do that all the time. I say no, and then I say something. No, there's really nothing.
Yeah. I keep having all these things of like that would be good examples, but like I half shoveled we had snow and ice over the weekend, and I half shoveled it and then just poured ice melt on it, and so the mail carrier could get up our steps without having an accident. And just like, instead of like, oh, I couldn't get the shovel out because the lock on the shed was frozen, and like all the, like, I couldn't do it the way I wanted to. And then I just decided, well, I got to do something.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
I did nothing.
Yeah. Well, you're in a little bit different situation.
Yeah, you're the second person in 2 days who's mentioned storing their snow shovel in their shed. This makes no sense to me. Because you have to go out in this, by definition, if you're waiting till it snows to get your snow shovel out, you have to get snowy to get to it. Why not keep it in your basement?
So, we don't have an actual snow shovel.
Oh.
Because I've never shoveled snow before.
What? What did you use?
We don't shovel snow.
Because you don't get snow.
We don't get snow.
I've been in plenty of snow at your house, I feel like.
Well, we get snow, but it usually melts right away.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I can think of 2 times in my lifetime where the snow has lasted more than a day or two.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Everyone just stays home.
Right.
It's not like you have to shovel the walks and stuff.
Until this year.
Well, I still didn't do it. But I just wanted to clear the snow. The snow had drifted so much that we didn't have identifiable stairs.
Oh, yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, and so I just wanted to clear the snow off of the stairs so it would be safe for the letter carrier to bring our mail up. And we have an actual shovel as opposed to a spade in the shed. But the lock was frozen. So I found a decrepit old broom and used my snow boots and a broom.
Good for you. There you go. Progress over perfection.
Yes.
Progress, not perfection. Yes. That's excellent. Did not mean to diverge there. But it was a good example.
Yeah. Yeah. But if we had an actual snow shovel and we actually shoveled the walk, it would make way more sense to have it in the basement.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we want to hear from you, our listeners. How do you make progress and not let perfection get in the way? You can let us know on social media, on Facebook and Instagram, or at Getting to Good Enough, and on Twitter, we're at GTG Enough. You can leave us a message at 413-424-GTGE, it's 4843, or you can head over to gettingtogoodenough.com and leave a comment in the show notes for this episode. But for now, this is Shannon Wilkinson in Portland, Oregon.
And Janine Adams in St. Louis, Missouri.
And we hope that good enough is getting easier for you. I am so glad we don't have to shovel snow here.
Yeah, I hate shoveling snow. I do it very poorly, too.
Progress, not perfection.
That's right.